My beloved, I need you to listen with your whole heart right now. What I am about to reveal carries the weight of eternity itself, and it concerns something you have wondered about in the silence of your nights. But I have been watching. I have always been watching. And today, the veil between what you see and what is truly happening around you grows thinner with each word you hear. There is something you need to understand about your life at this very moment. You are not as alone as you think you are, and you are certainly not as invisible as you have felt. In fact, there are more eyes on you right now than you could possibly imagine. Some of these eyes belong to those who admire you from a distance, unable to put into words what draws them to your presence. Others belong to those who watch you with a mixture of envy and fascination, trying to understand what makes you different. And still others watch you with something they themselves cannot fully comprehend. A spiritual recognition that unsettles them because it forces them to confront their own emptiness when they measure themselves against the light that emanates from your spirit. Think back over the past weeks and months. Have you felt it? That strange sensation that someone was speaking your name when you were not in the room? That peculiar awareness that washed over you during ordinary moments, making you pause and wonder if something significant was happening just beyond your perception. These were not random feelings. These were not your imagination playing tricks on you. These were confirmations, divine notifications that I was allowing to break through into your consciousness, because the time for full revelation is drawing near. You see, my child, I have allowed certain conversations to take place about you. I have permitted your image, your words, your very essence to be passed from one person to another, in ways you never authorized, and through channels you never opened. Someone very close to you. Someone whose face immediately comes to mind as you hear these words, has been showing others who you are. They have shared your photograph, your social media presence, perhaps even private messages or moments you thought were kept in confidence. And what happened when your image was placed before these other eyes will shift everything you thought you understood about the relationships in your life. If this message is resonating with you, if you feel that stirring in your chest that tells you this is not coincidence but divine appointment, I want you to do something right now. Type the word received in the comments below. This is about making a spiritual declaration that you are ready to receive what I am about to reveal. This is about opening your heart to truth that may be difficult, but is ultimately designed for your freedom and your elevation. Now, let me tell you what happened when your image was shown. 3 distinct responses emerged, and each one tells a story about the spiritual frequency you operate on. The first person who saw your image responded with something close to awe. They said that there is something rare about you, something that feels almost unreachable. They knew instinctively that you are not like other people. You carry something that cannot be manufactured or imitated. This recognition was actually a spiritual acknowledgement that the anointing I have placed upon your life is visible, even to those who cannot properly describe it. The second person who encountered your presence responded very differently. They felt intimidated. Something about you makes them uncomfortable, not because you have done anything wrong, but because your presence exposes something in them that they would rather not face. Your light reveals shadows in others. Your peace highlights their chaos. This is not your fault, and it is not something you need to apologize for or diminish. But the third response, my beloved, this is the one that should get your full attention. The third person responded not with envy or intimidation, but with something deeper. They felt it in their spirit. They said that there is something divine about your presence. They could not explain it logically, but they felt the weight of heaven when your name was mentioned. They sensed my hand upon your life, and this recognition scared them because it meant they could no longer dismiss you or reduce you to something manageable. These 3 responses did not happen by accident. I orchestrated this moment of revelation because there are truths hidden in the darkness that must now come into the light. What was whispered in private rooms is now being proclaimed. The person who initiated all of this, the one who began showing others who you are. They are closer to you than you might want to believe right now. As you hear my voice, their name is already forming in your mind. You have trusted this person. You have shared pieces of your heart with them. But I need you to understand something crucial. Their intentions have not been pure. Their actions have not been rooted in love or loyalty. They have been watching you, studying you, measuring themselves against you, and in their confusion they have betrayed your confidence. This is not about condemnation. This is about clarity. This is about you finally seeing what I have seen all along. You were never meant to remain in relationships built on hidden agendas and unspoken competitions. You were never meant to give your energy to people who smile at your face while questioning your calling behind your back. I am removing the scales from your eyes so that you can move forward with wisdom, with discernment, and with boundaries that protect the sacred work I am doing in and through you. Some of you right now are feeling a mix of emotions. Perhaps there is sadness at the thought of betrayal. Perhaps there is anger at the violation of trust. Perhaps there is even doubt, wondering if this message could really be for you, or if you are reading too much into a general word. Let me settle that question for you right now. If you have made it this far into this message, if something in your spirit has kept you engaged and attentive despite any skepticism you might carry, then yes, this is specifically for you. The very fact that you have not clicked away, that you have not dismissed these words, is itself a confirmation that I am speaking directly into your situation. Here is what I need you to do moving forward. First, trust your discernment. When you feel something is off about a person or a situation, do not ignore that feeling. Second, create distance where necessary, not with drama or explanation, but with quiet, confident boundaries. Third, stop sharing your vision with people who have not proven themselves trustworthy. The right people will celebrate your calling. The wrong people will study it, dissect it, and use it against you. Fourth, pay attention to who is genuinely happy when good things happen to you. That reaction tells you everything about whether they belong in your inner circle. Fifth, surround yourself with people who are further along than you are in their journey. People who have nothing to gain from your failure and everything to celebrate in your success. And finally, keep your eyes on me, not on them, not on what they said or did. Keep your eyes on me because I am the one orchestrating your steps. I am the one opening doors that no one can shut. The revelation you have received today is going to change how you see people and how you navigate relationships. You might experience a period of withdrawal where you need to step back and reevaluate every connection in your life. This is normal. This is healthy. I am giving you permission to take whatever time you need to process what has been revealed and to establish new standards for who gets access to your life and your energy. Some people will notice your shift. Some will even ask you what changed. You do not owe everyone an explanation. You do not have to defend your boundaries or justify your decisions. A simple, kind response is enough. Something like, I am in a season of being more intentional about my relationships. No drama, just a clear, confident assertion of your right to protect your peace and your purpose. You may also find that some relationships will naturally fall away during this season. People who were only connected to you through convenience will drift when they realize you are no longer available to play the role you once played in their life. Let them go. Do not chase people who are walking away. Do not try to convince anyone of your value. The right people will recognize what they have in you. And finally, get ready for new connections. I am bringing people into your life who are aligned with where you are going, not where you have been. These are people who will recognize your calling without you having to explain it. These are people who will support your vision without needing to control it. These divine connections are already on their way to you, and the removal of the wrong people is making space for the arrival of the right ones. If this message has touched your heart, If you sense that this word was specifically for you at this specific moment in your journey, I want you to declare it in the comments. Write, "I am ready for my new season," so that your declaration becomes not just a private moment, but a public testimony that others can witness and be encouraged by. Walk forward now with your head held high and your spirit at peace. You are not who they said you were in their secret conversations. You are who I say you are in the throne room of heaven. You are chosen, anointed, protected, and destined for greatness. And nothing and no one can change that truth until we meet again. Walk in wisdom, walk in power, and walk in the absolute certainty that I am with you every step of the way.